let's start. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So the last class we discussed the what are crystals, and we defined lattice parameters, and they are also called as basis vectors. Okay, so repetition of basis vector along the particular direction gives us crystal structure or lattice, three-dimensional lattice. So when we place basis group of atom, an atom or group of atom at this lattice point, we get the crystal structure. Now, crystal structure is a three-dimensional structure. It is not a two-dimensional structure. All these things what we have discussed here is two-dimensional structure. This is only for our comfort and convenience, easy to understand, right? But the actual picture is of a crystal which is a three-dimensional. So now, this is a three-dimensional crystal. This is how the lattice points are distributed in a crystal. So it is a three-dimensional. It is extended along x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Okay. So now let us consider a simple structure or a simple geometrical structure where we have this lattice point. That is a cube. It is a symmetric geometric structure. So in this,
Sir, we can't listen your.
Hello, sir. You are muted.
oh, somebody has muted. I didn't mute. See, whoever is doing, you can do all these things at a better place, not here. Okay. Am I audible now? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, if anybody mute me, then I will deem that this lecture is over, and straight away this topic will appear for you in the examination. You understand? Hope you understand. Okay? I'm friendly with you, I'm free with you. That doesn't mean that you can take me for granted and do these such things. Okay? If I see you again muting me, any of you, just this lecture is over for me. Hope you understand. Okay? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Well, so let's move on. Okay, so this is the simplest geometrical structure which is symmetric. So it has, generally I take this as x-axis, this as y-axis. I take this as x-axis, y-axis. Okay, here let's continue as it is because it also has angles corresponding to it. Okay. So let's say this is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is z-axis. Along x-axis, we have the basis vector A. Along y-axis, we have the basis vector B. Along the z-axis, we have the basis vector C. If it is Q, then the basis vector, the magnitude of the basis vector A is equal to B is equal to C. Mod A is equal to mod B is equal to mod C. That is the condition. Now, these basis vectors need not always be perpendicular to each other. There is no rule there. Let's say these basis vectors are perpendicular to each other. They don't have to be perpendicular. So we'll have to define the angle between these basis vectors also. So now we have the angle between angle between y and z, or basis vector B and C as alpha, angle between basis vector A and C as beta, angle between basis vector A and B as gamma. So to remember this, it's very simple. The angle opposite to A is alpha, angle opposite to B, basis vector B is beta, and whatever the remaining is gamma. Obviously, it has to be the angle opposite to C. Angle opposite to C means it is between A and B. Angle opposite to A, that means this angle is between B and C. Angle opposite to B, that means this angle is between A and C. So now, based on these basis vectors and angles, basis vectors A, B, C and angles alpha, beta, gamma, we have to define different possible crystal systems. We have to define different possible crystal systems. There are, so here for any distance, we can choose any point, any lattice point, because all the lattice points are identical. We can choose any lattice point as origin, and we can always, with respect to this origin, let's say this is the origin, with respect to this origin, we can always find out what is the distance or where any lattice point, any other lattice point is located. So that is given by the equation R, vector R is equal to, this R indicates a vector from the origin to that particular lattice point what we are considering. That is equal to N1A plus N2B plus N3C. Okay. So now here A, B, C, which previously I called as basis vectors, along with alpha, beta, gamma, are called lattice parameters. That means if I have to define a lattice, if I have to define a three-dimensional lattice, all I need is A, B, C, three vectors, and the angle between them. Right here, of course, the angle between them is 90 degrees, but it need not be 90 degrees always. Right? Therefore, we have to define angle between them. So you give me A, B, C, three vectors and the angle between them. I can construct the lattice very easily. It is a geometrical distribution of points. I can very easily construct the lattice. Okay, all these six together are called lattice parameters. Lattice parameters. For example, in this case, right, in a cube, what is the condition on the vectors and angles? Can somebody say? What is the condition on vectors, basis vectors, and the angles? Or in simple terms, can somebody say what is the lattice parameter for a cube which we have considered?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, the magnitudes of the vector is same, of all the vectors are same.
A equal to B equal to C. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
right.
sir.
Next.
Sir, angle will be like
90 degree. Alpha equal
That
beta
means
equal 90, sir.
Alpha equal to beta equal to gamma
Equal
to 90.
to 90. Yes,
Very
sir.
good. Very good. So now based on this, so now you give me the basis vector. I can very easily construct the lattice. Okay. So now, let's say, so this is a vector, lattice. This is a two-dimensional lattice. In this two-dimensional lattice, I am considering only these four atoms. Lattice points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only these four lattice points I am considering. Okay. So now what I did, see, there are two ways of just a minute, constructing this lattice. There are two ways. There are two ways of constructing this lattice. First, I started with this point. I know what is A, so I extend it along A. Then I know what is B. I extend it along B. Okay. What is the other way to construct this lattice? Instead of arranging single atom, I take a small unit in this lattice. This is a small unit. Okay. So I take this small unit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only these 4 atoms form the smallest unit in this lattice. Now, instead of arranging single individual lattice points, I go on repeating this unit. Let's say, see here, I'm just repeating this unit. What did I get? Whatever I got in this situation by considering single atom, I got here by considering a unit, smallest unit of this lattice. So I'll call this part what I used. I call this part as unit cell of this lattice. So what is unit cell? It is the smallest individual part of that lattice. So as we can, so that means this unit cell has reduced our improved our convenience in defining a lattice. I don't have to go with arranging individual atoms, but I can take a unit cell and go on arranging the unit cell to obtain the whole of the lattice. Okay, any doubt here? So let's define this unit cell. It is a geometrical pattern that forms the smallest unit of space lattice, which when repeated along the direction of 3 basis vectors generates the space lattice. Do you understand this or do you have any doubt?
Clear,
Yes,
sir.
right?
Clear, sir.
Clear? Okay. So this is a crystal lattice. See here, this is a 3-dimensional crystal lattice. In this crystal lattice, this is the unit cell.
Sir, but aren't we taking like a cube, sir, and not a square, as in not 4
No.
atoms?
Here, see, in the previous case, it was a 2-dimensional lattice.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Now it is a 3-dimensional lattice.
Yes, sir. Got
And
it.
we are only concerned with 3-dimensional lattice or space lattice. So this is the unit cell. So you take this unit cell and extend it along the x-axis or A, basis A, vector A, vector B, and vector C. You get a 3-dimensional lattice or space lattice.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So you understood the importance of unit cell, I hope. So now, based on this understanding of the unit cell, we define different types of crystal systems. See, there are so many crystals, so many materials which crystallizes. Okay, we have semiconducting materials which crystallizes, we have conductors which crystallizes, we have some proteins which crystallizes. There are so many different things which crystallizes. When they crystallize, can we put them into a particular group or a fundamental group? That is the question. Yes, we can put them into some fundamental group. So based on our experience and studies, there are 7 crystal systems which have been identified. So you take any crystal or any material which is crystallized, it has to be fall into one of these 7 crystal systems. What are they? First one is cubic, then tetragonal, then orthorhombic, then rhombohedral, then hexagonal, then monoclinic, then triclinic. What does that vary in these systems? What does that vary in this system? Simple. One word answer. What does that vary in this system?
Sir, your voice is not clear.
For others?
Yes, sir. Not clear.
Sir, can you
Sir,
please
Your voice
repeat,
is
sir?
cracking, sir.
Just a minute.
Breaking.
Now,
Better, sir.
yeah. See, my question is, these are the 7 crystal systems which are identified, which have been identified. What is the changes in these crystal systems?
So there will be only parametric changes.
Yes, there will only be parametric changes. What are those parameters here?
Sir, angles and sides.
Lattice parameters. That sides and angle we call them or refer as lattice parameter. So lattice parameter is what changes. So because there is a change in lattice parameter, it can be in basis vectors or it could be in angles. But there is a change. Based on those changes, based on those variations, we have identified 7 crystal systems. Now briefly we will look into, you don't have to write down, you can later refer it. Okay. Based on this, we'll define different systems. So of these 7 crystal systems, some have been further subdivided into further crystal systems, subdivided into further 14 Bravais lattices. They have been further subdivided into 14 Bravais lattices. We'll look into that. First one is cubic. This is simple cubic. This is cubic lattice. This is a cubic lattice, which we generally refer as simple cubic. It is very simple, right? Next, within this simple cubic, so these are the parameters for simple cubic. A equal to B equal to C, alpha equal to beta equal to gamma equal to 90 degrees. Okay, so this cubic has 3 Bravais lattices. This cubic has 3 Bravais lattices, where A is equal to B is equal to C. But it has 2 different types. One is body-centered cubic, another is face-centered cubic. So this is the body-centered cubic. This is simple cubic. This is body-centered cubic. That means there will be one atom at the center of this simple cubic. That is body-centered. This is what it shows. Okay. It is the body-centered. There is one atom at the center. Okay. So we have iron, platinum, crystallizing into body-centered cubic. Then we have face-centered cubic. So face-centered cubic is, see, this is a simple cubic, simple cube. It has 6 faces, right? One top, one bottom, 4 on the side. So center of each face has one atom. Center of each face has one atom, just like this. So here we have, in this unit cell, we have 8 atoms at the edges and 6 atoms on the center of the face. So for FCC, we have an example of copper, gold, silver, lead, nickel, and also iron. See here, do you observe any discrepancy between BCC and FCC? Or any doubt, confusion?
Sir, what is that 3 Bravais lattices?
See, this is cubic unit cell, right? This cubic unit cell has further divided into 3 basic lattice types. One is simple cubic, another is base-centered cubic, body-centered cubic.
Oh, okay.
Another
Yes,
is
sir.
face-centered cubic.
I understand.
Within this cubic itself, there are 3 different lattices.
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 3. Now, in this explanation, do you observe any confusion or discrepancy? Quickly go through the slide and let me know.
No, sir.
No? All of you?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Clear?
Sir, so the
Yes, sir.
Sir, so
Yes.
the shape of a space lattice does not matter on the number of lattice points.
No.
Okay.
I have a doubt then. If you all don't have, then I have a doubt. You will have to clear now. Look here. We have iron in given example in BCC as well as in FCC. What does that mean? Iron crystallizes as body-centered structure as well as space-centered structure. How is it possible?
It's an allotrope, sir.
No, allotrope. How is it possible?
So both kind of iron structures exist in different
Does
types of
Fe2
structures.
plus comes under BCC and Fe3 plus comes under FCC?
Then
At different temperature, they exhibit different structures, sir.
exactly, that's right. At different temperatures, see, when we process the materials, we process them at different temperatures at a different rate. That is called annealing or quenching. Okay, we heat it to a different degrees, different temperatures, then we slowly cool it or we cool it very fast. So at different temperatures, they exhibit different structures. So there is a possibility that a single type of material can exhibit two or more types of crystal structures depending on the processing conditions. So here, depending on the processing conditions, iron exhibits both BCC as well as FCC structure. Then tetragonal. So this is tetragonal. Okay. So here we see from the diagram that A is equal to B, but C is not equal to A and B. Okay. But alpha, beta, gamma are still equal to 90 degrees. So here in tetragonal, it has two types of Bravais lattices. One is simple tetragonal, another is body-centered tetragonal. And we have orthorhombic. So in orthorhombic, we have all the three basis vectors. A is not equal to B, not equal to C, but alpha, beta, gamma equal to 90. So here again, it has three different types. Sorry, four Bravais lattices. One is simple, next one is face-centered, third one is body-centered, fourth one is end-centered, or this is also called as base-centered. See, it has additional atom only at the bottom and top faces, not around. So this is one variation in orthorhombic. Then we have trigonal. Look at this and tell me what are the parameters quickly.
Simple cable.
A is equal to B is equal to C. Alpha equal to beta equal to gamma, but not equal to 90 degrees. From the system that we have already discussed, can we obtain this trigonal without altering much? We have already discussed three systems. Can we obtain this trigonal without altering much? No? Start with a cube. Take a cube. Okay?
Sir, can you repeat your question?
I asked, from the systems, whatever we have discussed already, the three systems, without altering much of its basic structure, can we obtain this trigonal?
Sir, we can take a cube shape and increase the angles.
Just you take the cube shape and apply the force, the moment of inertia, keeping the base fixed. You push it along three different directions so that the angle varies. That's it. Alpha equal to beta equal to gamma not equal to 90. So here one thing we should remember, this alpha, beta, gamma, the twisting force, whatever we apply, they should be equal in all the directions. So the angles alpha, beta, gamma are equal, but they are not equal to 90 degrees. So this is basically a cubic structure which is twisted in all the three directions. Trigonal, remember. Then we have hexagonal. So this is hexagonal structure. So you see hexagonal structure. Okay. So here the angle is calculated here. Alpha equal to beta equal to 90. Alpha beta are equal to 90, whereas gamma is there. This gamma is equal to 120. That is how it has attained hexagonal structure. Okay, and A and B are equal to each other, but not equal to C. A and B are equal to each other, but not equal to C. Clear? Then we have monoclinic. Monoclinic is where A, B, C are not equal to each other. Alpha equal to gamma equal to 90 degree, but not equal to beta. Beta is different than 9. That means it is tilted in one direction. First of all, the basis vectors are not equal to each other. Then it is tilted in one direction. Then we have, and it has two Bravais lattices. One is the simple, another is with a base centered. Base centered or end centered. Then we have triclinic. Triclinic, alpha, beta, gamma not equal to each other. And here alpha equal to gamma equal to 90 was there. Here all three angles are not equal to 90. And they are also not equal to each other. Alpha is not equal to beta is not equal to gamma, also not equal to 90 degrees. So these are 7 crystal systems. These are 7 crystal systems. This is summary. These are 7 crystal systems. Basically, are fundamental crystal systems. So you take any crystal structure, it will generally fall into one of these crystal systems. And under these crystal systems, there are 14 Bravais lattices. 14 Bravais lattices. So here you see cubic, it has 3 lattices. Tetragonal, 2 lattices. Orthorhombic, 4 lattices. Rhombohedral and hexagonal, 1 lattice each. Then monoclinic, 2 lattices, and triclinic, 1 lattice. So all these put together should turn out to 14. Check yourself. Okay, this is in nutshell the crystal systems. What are the crystal systems? How many crystal systems are there? Okay.
Excuse me,
Then,
sir.
yes.
Sir, in this trigonal, that alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma not equal to 90 degree means what? All three angles are not equal to 90 degree?
Triclinic?
In trigonal.
Trigonal.
In that rhombohedra.
Rhombohedral or trigonal?
Yeah, this
See,
it's like alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma.
See, all these 3 angles are equal to each other, but not equal to 90.
Okay, and the triclinic is not equal to each other.
Here, they are not equal to each other, also not equal to 90.
Okay.
None of them are equal to each other and also equal to 90.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Now, next is the directions and planes in a crystal lattice. So there are a number of ways to choose a unique cell for crystal structure. See, for example, I'll tell you. A crystal structure is represented by using lattice parameter. So how do we represent a crystal structure? Starting with a lattice parameter, right? Then why should we define direction? That is the very important concept here. Why should we define a direction in a crystal? It's very important because these crystals have properties that depend on direction. Directions in a crystal lattice. Let's say, so this is a crystal lattice. Okay, this is one direction, let's say along A. This is another direction along axis B. This is another direction along axis C. Okay, so there is also other direction. Look at here. This is a different direction. This is a different direction. This is different direction.
Sir, but you can have only 6 such directions, no, sir?
Wait. This is different direction. See, as you vary your origin to any of the connecting points, the direction keeps on varying. For example, I'll give a very simple. Okay, let me take from here. So this is the direction. Do you agree? This is direction. You agree? Then come here. This is a direction. Do you agree? This is a direction, right? This is a direction, right?
Sir, then we get a number of directions.
A direction. Yes, there are n number of possible directions. Exactly. This is a direction. This is a direction. This is a direction. Okay. So there are different directions. When we look at this crystal from different directions, they exhibit different properties. So crystal properties are direction dependent. Direction means don't just consider x, y, z direction. There are numerous different x, y, z combination of directions. Okay, there are numerous combinations of x, y, z directions. So as the direction changes, the properties of the material also changes. The properties of the crystal also changes. That is why directions are very, very important in a crystal. Right? Because they have direction dependent quantities. Crystals have direction dependent properties. So because their directions vary, directions are very important in crystal lattice. Then what are planes in a crystal lattice? This is a crystal lattice, right? Right? We already defined the basis vector A, B, C, also along with the angles alpha, beta, gamma. That means we defined the lattice parameter. Then we took unit cell. Right? Now we are talking about planes in a crystal lattice. What is the importance of plane in a crystal lattice? Why do we need the lattice parameters? Can somebody say why do we need lattice parameters? To understand the basics of a lattice, to construct a lattice, we need lattice parameters. Right? Similarly, going a step ahead, we can define a unit cell which has basic properties of the lattice. That is lattice parameter. It has basic properties of the lattice. That is lattice parameter. So we can construct a lattice using the unit cell of that lattice. We can construct a lattice using a unit cell. Do you agree? Now planes comes into picture. What are these planes? Let's say this is a three-dimensional lattice. That means these atoms, whatever have been arranged, they are coming out of the screen or entering into the screen. It is a three-dimensional lattice. Now, how to construct this lattice? Very simple. You start from here. First, you find out what is A. Okay. Then you start from here. Find out what is B. Go on repeating these lattice points along this direction. You get the lattice. You agree?
Yes,
So what
sir.
is the other way? Other way, find unit cell. Let's say this is a unit cell. Go on extending this unit cell in all the three directions, x, y, z, or along unit vectors, basis vectors. What do you get? You again get the same lattice. Is this lattice different? No, you will get same lattice. Okay. You can also define another unit cell like this. Extend this also in 3 dimensions, you will get same lattice. There is no difference.
Sir, I didn't understand. Like same lattice.
See, you have this lattice, right? You have periodically, regularly arranged points, geometrical points in space.
Yes, sir.
How will you construct this? Let's
So
say
that distance A, distance B.
you don't have any information. What I'll give you is, I'll just tell you the lattice parameters. You'll have to construct the lattice. How will you construct? Very simple. You choose a point as origin. From there, you go on arranging the points which meets the criteria as vector A and vector B. You get the lattice. Okay? Clear?
Yes, sir.
What is the other way? Other way is, again I have given you the lattice parameter A and B along with angles. So you construct unit cell first. Then go on extending that unit cell. Where will you go?
You get the same thing.
Same lattice. So this unit cell could also be chosen like this. This is a different kind of unit cell.
But we get the same one again.
This is primitive unit cell. Primitive cell. This is primitive. No unit cell can be smaller than this. This is primitive. But you can also choose a unit cell like this, which has one atom of center. Then go on extending in all the 3 directions. Where will you end up?
Yes, sir.
Same lattice, right?
Oh, yes, sir. We get the same. Body cell.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now there is one more idea. Now you take a plane, this plane, from here to here. This is a plane, 2-dimensional plane. Okay. Then you extend this plane or repeat this plane at intervals, at periodic intervals. What do you get? What do you get?
So
Hey,
same
guys.
lattice.
Please explain one side.
Same lattice. So we can understand or construct a lattice in different ways. We can construct lattice in different ways. Okay. And we can define the properties of the material based on planes also, because planes and directions they always go hand in hand. If we have to define a plane, we have to define its direction. Now the beauty of this plane is, look at this. You can construct this lattice using this plane. Right? We can construct this lattice using this plane. Extend this in this direction. Repeat this in this direction. Any doubts? We can also construct the same lattice using another plane, this plane. Just you have to extend in this direction. Clear? We can also construct the same lattice using this plane. Look here.
Sir, can you please explain once again?
See, this lattice could be constructed in different ways. Now we know that lattice could also be constructed using the plane. So we defined a fundamental plane here, a basic plane here, and go on repeating this plane in this direction. You get the lattice. Then go on repeating this plane in this direction. You get the lattice. Then you choose different plane. This plane was along A, vector A. This was along vector B. But now this is combination of vector A and B. Choose this plane. Go on extending in this direction. What do you get? Same lattice. Now choose another plane. This also gives same lattice. Then choose another plane. This also gives same lattice.
Sir, but isn't all of this in the same plane itself?
Yes, it's same crystal structure. same crystal structure, we can choose different planes. Only thing is, this plane is along x, along vector A, this plane is along vector B, whereas this 1, 2, 3, these planes are combinations of vector A and B. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this we can always define in 3 dimension also. Okay. So now we have different options that we can choose a plane and represent lattice. We have different options that we can choose a plane and represent lattice. So just like as we represented lattice using different unit cells in the previous case. Here, right? Here only we did. Okay. As we could represent unit cell using different unit cells, we can also represent unit cells using different planes. What is the use of planes? I will tell later. Okay. But basically, in crystal lattice, we can always define planes. Right. So these planes have different characteristics based on the parameters, lattice parameters, like this. So we can always define a crystal lattice based on parallel planes, set of parallel planes, and each set of parallel planes have different characteristics or properties. Okay. This is a cubic structure, which is a 3-dimensional structure. It is extended to 3 dimensions, and let's say this is a plane. Just go on representing this plane. Sorry, repeating this plane. This plane. Go on repeating this plane. You will get the crystal structure. Repeat this plane above as well as below. You get the same crystal structure. Similarly here, let's say we have this plane. Just go on repeating this plane at this particular interval. What do you get? The same crystal structure. So here, let's take this plane. Go on repeating, you will get the same crystal structure. Here, let's take this plane. Go on repeating, you will get the same crystal structure. Okay, so the same cube has been defined by using different planes. Now, apart from this, we can also define planes. Take this plane. We'll again get the same plane. Sorry, same lattice. We'll again get the same line. But we have chosen a different plane. Similarly, we can also choose a plane like then also we will get the same crystal structure. So there are numerous different ways of choosing a plane to explain a crystal structure. Right. Each and every plane has its own characteristics, its own nomenclature. We define this plane depending on how they intersect with the basis vectors. What are the basis vectors here? Basis vectors are A, B, C. Right? We name or nomenclature this plane based on how they intersect with the basis vector. Depending on that, we define this.
Sure, there is lot of disturbance.
Some of your friends only doing. What should I do?
I am very sorry. I'm very sorry.
No worries.
I did not realize, sir. After talking to you, I didn't mute it. Very sorry.
It's okay, no issue. Okay, so we have different planes representing the same crystal structure, and different planes have different characteristics. We assign different names for them depending on how they intersect with different basis vectors. So this we will discuss in the next class. Okay. Today, let's stop here. And this material I'll give once a week. Every day I will not update. Okay. It should be fine. The recording will be available, but the PPTs I will update once a week. Is it clear? Is it
Yes,
okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Anyhow,
Yes, sir.